And Joel, you can take it away.
Great, thanks Marcia, appreciate the introduction. Welcome everyone to our CRM presentation today, top 5 solutions or add-ons for Microsoft CRM. Just to quickly walk through an agenda, I thought it would be important, in selecting the 5 solutions that we go through, that we really focus in on what Microsoft has done in the last several months. And the top 3 add-ons that we've picked, some of them actually come with your core solution today, so it's just a matter of turning them on. Other ones are add-on features, but they're solutions that Microsoft has incorporated into their overall dynamic CRM environment. I thought it would be important for us to dive into those as well, so you can take a look at the investment you made today in your CRM solution and the investment that Microsoft has made into the product through its acquisitions. How do I leverage that relationship, that information to expand my deployment further? And then the last 2 add-ons that we're featuring are ones that we're actually starting to hear more and more from our clients on. One is an attachment extractor, and we'll dive into that a little bit later on from MSCRM. And then the last one is Click Dimensions, which is just Microsoft, marketing inside of the dynamic CRM solution. So when looking at Microsoft CRM and customer relationship management, I'm sure most of you know this today because you're utilizing the solution. You have the ability to access your CRM environment, whether you're on a tablet, desktop, phone. You've got different types of workloads where we're able to deploy sales or maybe even marketing inside of CRM or the service solution. And then we look at extending CRM, and we're going to spend some time talking about that as we're going into these solutions, because what we're doing by deploying some of these additional add-ons is really extending the functionality of CRM, whether it's out to the web or whether it's into other areas of your business. And then again, all the solutions that we're looking at today, it's really irrelevant whether you deploy it online or on-premise. They're all gonna work. So when we talk about extending the solution, we're talking about really not just taking Salesforce automation and giving the sales organization the ability to manage the pipeline. We're talking about taking CRM and using it in different ways. So as we're going through our add-ons today, I just really want to challenge everyone to think about CRM in other areas of your business where potentially we could extend and bring information and bring details into the CRM system. So as we're going through this presentation today, I'm also just wanted to give a very quick disclaimer. We're not going to be diving into the each and every solution. There's a couple that I'll be looking at, but what I've done just to make sure we're using the most of our time today is I've went out and taken some screenshots of majority of these applications so we can actually see what the screens look like versus diving in and out of applications. If anyone on the line is interested in seeing a more focused presentation or even want to get access to demo versions of this, please feel free to let me know, and we can go ahead and coordinate that with you at any time. So the first solution we're going to look at is Portals by ADX Studios. And this is a solution that Microsoft acquired last year. And really what it's designed to do, it's designed to take your CRM and really engage with individuals online. And it allows for that two-way integration. You can actually expose information from your CRM system out into a secure portal and interact with partners, interact with employees, interact with your customers. Or if you're an organization that offers any level of support or support services, you can actually provide them a portal to log in to create cases and start interacting with your service team. So it allows your clients and your team members, just another option of really service. Again, you can use the self-service features within the solution. So if you want to expose knowledge-based articles out to them on a website and allow them to search and kind of self-service themselves, this solution is a great product or tool that you could potentially deploy. So what does ADX Studios offer? And there's several portals that are available through the Microsoft solution. And these are just some of the examples that they have today. They've got a profile management, content management. You have the ability to even create some CRM web applications and expose information out onto the web. We have the ability to create communities, so we can allow for that two-way integration with either your customers or even partners. And then, there's also the ability to create some level of e-commerce portals as well. So we're going to look into each one of these real quickly. So on the profile side, think of it as I want to give my customers, maybe my members or anyone that I'm interacting with, the ability to update me when things happen. So you can create a field or the ability for forms to get exposed out onto a secure site where customers and members, for example, have the ability to update you when things change or when their information changes at any point. And just a quick example, these are some of the forms that are available, and these are some sample forms that were get created in a demo environment that allow me to take CRM level information and expose it out onto the web. Now these forms aren't something that I need to be a developer in order to create. You actually use the standard toolkits within inside the solution, and I create a form inside of CRM and say I want these fields exposed inside the portal. And it allows us to create this two-way information. So as soon as someone updates their contact information or updates their profile, it's going to go ahead and automatically update the CRM record inside your system. Now here's an example of a lead form. A lot of organizations like to have the ability to allow for someone to click a contact us link on a website, and we want on that contact us form, give us some basic information like your name, your email, your phone number. What are you really looking for? How can we reach out to you again? And then take all of that information and instantly create a lead record or a contact record inside of CRM for your team members to go ahead and work on. That's just one great example of using some very quick functionality within ADX Studios to allow for that to happen. Other areas, we've got the ability to create web applications. Certainly entity forms is one we're going to talk about real quickly. This is probably a deeper example where I've had the ability to click on a particular product that I might have some interest in. Maybe we can present some poll level information, ask them, how did they find out about us? But again, I'm interested in this very specific product that I spent time searching on. Please contact me. And let's go ahead and start the process of finding out what this would cost me in order to get the solution as part of my offering. So again, taking the contact form, which you're seeing on the left-hand side, and feeding a new lead entity form inside of CRM. That's really what these tools are designed to do. Content management. Here's a list of various things that the solutions can do. Some of the very, I would say the very powerful tools that are involved in the content management side really are evolved around search. And inside of search, you can search all different kinds of things. You can search forums, we can search issues. You have the ability to search your support cases, knowledge base articles, or products. This is just a quick example where I searched the word bindings, and this is information where that's being fed from CRM, where I've managed, maybe a support forum or a knowledge base article, or maybe I want to have them hit a product page that allows them to go ahead and look at the different products that we have available. So taking information from multiple entities inside of CRM and allowing them to be searched inside the portal is important. You also have the ability to create web pages. And again, back to my comment earlier, you don't have to be a developer to use these tools. In order for me to create a web page, there's some very simple tools within inside the tool editor that allows me to edit some of the features that are there out of the box, add my company's logo, really wrap this around my current website so I've got a consistent look and feel as my customers and partners and prospects are interacting with me. So again, it's simple enough. You have the ability to just use these real basic kind of form editors to make changes to the forms, select the entity that you want to work with inside of CRM, and then pull in the fields that you want to go ahead and expose on these forms. So again, very easy to use, very flexible, allows you to take some of the kind of core out-of-the-box forms and manipulate them to give them your organization's look and feel and style, as well as the ability to capture information that's important to you as you're trying to further that two-way interaction. Now, the customer service side is an area that I've actually spent a lot of time in lately. The ability to take your help desk and expose that out to the customer, give them the ability to submit those support requests, Give them the ability to get updates as to what's going on with those support calls, or maybe interact with your support team and provide levels of additional information. Maybe it's screenshots or supporting documentation. And then also the ability to search the knowledge base. And if you're using knowledge base today in CRM and want to expose certain versions of your articles out onto the website that are searchable, the ADX Studio solution is a great solution for that. So under Help Desk, it's not just exposing the case records. You have the ability to set some permissions around that and allow things to be escalated. If there's the opportunity where you want people to pay for the case, you can actually implement the solution and allow for a gateway to accept credit card transactions. As well as the organization has the ability to really look at their case history and understand really what their cases are and how they can drill into those and see where the statuses are and where they are in the process. As well as surveys. This is another great area, and we're going to probably touch on this a few times in the discussion today. But as I'm done filling out a support case and it's been resolved, I can then be brought to a page that allows me to fill out a survey, provide some feedback to the management internally to let them know how I was dealt with, how that support case was handled. Was I dealt with the way I expected? Did I get the level of consistency I expected? So there's just some kind of core themes and areas inside the Help Desk. It's a very rich module within inside the ADX portal environment. So here's just a real quick example, right? So I've got my standard CRM support case on the right-hand side, and I've got my web form on the left-hand side. So as a customer of ABC Company, I can just quickly type in, what I'm trying to deal with. What are my issues? So, for example, boots. I can type in some information about what I'm trying to do, and then click on submit, and then a case gets created inside of CRM. And if you have various routing or you put it into a service queue, you can continue to do that and leverage that investment you made in configuring CRM correctly. But now we're just creating and opening up an additional window in which your customers can interact with your organization. So there's no rekeying of this information. There's no taking it from a form on the left-hand side and having it emailed to support at ABC Company. This is just a complete, back and forth integration between the systems. And as your support team updates these cases, and as they, change the status or provide levels of additional information, that information is going to get fed back to your end customer, and they'll have visibility into that as you move forward. And then here's the knowledge base. Here's a great example of taking, the forms that are available in ADX Studio and really allowing you to, make it your own. So in this example, Peak Assist has this knowledge base form where they can, customers can search, the most recent topics or the most popular topics that have come through. They can look at different blog posts. But if they're not getting what they need, they have the ability to search right at the top for, the knowledge base article. And if the article isn't exactly helpful, right from the article, you can actually allow them to create a new support case. So we're not just going to send them to a page where they're going to search for information. If the information isn't helpful, they'll be able to go ahead right away and submit a support case into your support team using the method that we just talked about prior. Another great area is communities. So this is another great way where you can literally, start building out additional layers of information with your basically your customer base. You can add in forums and allow the communities to start to grow, to kind of self-service themselves. You can integrate with Facebook, or even some clients use the polling feature just to try to understand which products are successful, which products aren't successful. If we're about to release this new version of a solution and there's these top 5 features that you'd like to see in there, how would you rate them? Things of that nature are a great way where you can use communities to do that. And then channel management is probably the second most important area that we've seen our customers and clients take advantage of. And that's just, I have the ability to extend opportunity information out to the partners that I do business with. So I might be a distributor, or I might offer some level of service to partners that I work with. And I want to be able to take the leads that I get from a trade show or an event and create opportunities and distribute those out to my partner channel. And I want my partners to have the ability to update those opportunities and provide me with some additional information that would feed Microsoft CRM and allow me to get greater visibility into my pipelines. So again, this is just a real quick concept, but you can take those features and literally, once you assign those opportunities to the relevant partner who has portal access, they'll have full control over updating that information, adding in the dollar amount, when they expect it to close, just giving your organization just real great visibility into what's going on, at their location without having to schedule those monthly calls, or quarterly calls asking, what's new or what have we seen. Give them a tool that allows them to create new opportunities that feed CRM, that gives your organization instant visibility. And then perhaps maybe it's someone that you've gotten some insights into or could help lead that partner along and become more successful. So this is another great area where we've seen our clients really strive to get to that level of two-way communication with their partners and customers. And then there's e-commerce, right? I think this is another area where a lot of our clients are pretty excited. How do I get exposed invoices and order information and product catalogs out to my customers? How do I give them that visibility? There's just a quick example of the out-of-the-box form for Top Dog Adventures. You want to have their customers log into the portal and see what's their order history look like. Can I create a quote from here? Can I change my profile or change my information? So that's kind of stretching into a few different areas within the solution, but it allows the customer to go to one location to see everything that's going on with respect to their orders and invoices. As well as product catalog, right? So if I have a rich product catalog and I'm trying to get my customers to purchase things, or I want to really drive to get that web presence, ADX Studio has a great solution for that, and it allows you to take your products that you have in CRM and catalogs and expose them out onto the web. So if I selected on a certain, if I did a search for boots, I would I would see, here's the skis, here's the boots that go along with it, and allow the user to kind of pick and choose and select, maybe add them to a quote, get that quote issued to them, and if they wanted to turn that quote into an order using the portal, they can do that. So this is, kind of full, if you would think of it, B2B and B2C inside of the portal, directly linked to CRM. And then the other areas that we've seen is just, the government, appliances available. So there's all these different applications that you can, leverage. We've got a couple of clients out there that love to have the ability to create a portal site. So, they operate in local municipality, and they manage a light district. And when street lights go out, they give their constituents an opportunity to log into a portal and report that information. So they call that, kind of citizen engagement. So that's another area that you could use portals for. And then marketing, right? Extending your content marketing, extending, the web applications. If you're any type of organization that runs events and wants to have the ability to kind of coordinate those events and provide, additional levels of information so that all the registrants are notified as to what's going on, the ADX Studios is a great solution to handle that. So now to switch gears, there's another solution that Microsoft acquired. It's called Voice of the Customer, and that's a survey solution that allows you to, gain valuable feedback directly from your customers. And you can use the tools that literally will sit right inside of CRM to design the surveys to really match your organization's style. You can add logos, change the content, and then the feedback's going to come back into CRM in the form of responses that allows you to do things with it, right? So if you wanted to build out a workflow where every, fifth or sixth support case that gets closed, make sure we send out, a survey to find out how we're doing, how's our support team doing, and then review the results of that inside of CRM and see how, how the satisfaction is scored and understand really what's going on with your clients, you can absolutely do that inside of CRM. So here's Voice of the Customer. It's very simple, right? You have the ability to select a theme, enter in your logo, and then go through this quick form of literally adding in your text, adding in your responses, and then you send the information out to your customer and record those responses. When you want to theme the solution inside of CRM, they give you some standard, pieces that you can work with. But you also have the ability to, manipulate that information and change the colors and the look and feel, as well as to, change the questions and answers that are there as well, right? So I can, inside the system, change that information and create a really nice looking survey that we can use inside of our CRM environment. And then again, all of those responses come into the system and allows me to score the responses. If you're using any type of net promoter, I can manage all of that in there as well. And then score those surveys. And then obviously if the survey is scored low and you want to have management follow-up, or it's low for a certain customer support rep all the time, and you want to coach that rep to make sure that they're doing a better job giving a consistent service experience with your customers, this is a great tool to kind of really help get at that information from your customers and bring that into CRM and then interact with that information to make the team more successful. So another purchase that Microsoft made is in the fantasy sports world, right? And it's called Fantasy Sales. And it's a great tool. I know our team internally is pretty excited about it. We have a highly competitive sales organization that's extremely motivated in performance and looking at, who's doing well, who's leading in sales, who's leading in activity. And if you have that type of organization, this tool is a great solution for you to look at. It allows you to set goals and rewards based off of different metrics within the system. You even have the ability to, if you wanted, allow for drafting. So think of that fantasy sports world where everyone's doing fantasy football or fantasy baseball. Allow your team members and your sales team to be the members that are being drafted from one team to another, and allow for that kind of inter-office competition. And really what's going to drive that competition is the activity and the metrics you set up inside of CRM, so you can weigh each reward. So let's take a look real quick. I'm going to switch out of the PowerPoint, and we're looking at fantasy sales right now. So this is an environment that's connected to CRM. It's in the process of running, so there's really not a lot of great demo data in here. But this just gives you a general sense of what you can do when setting up a game, if you will. So we've set this one up. It's called Sikich Football. And inside of here, you can take a look at the leaderboard, right? So I'm the commissioner of this particular game. I might be the vice president of sales. I can allow for, some notes and feedback that can go out to the team. We can go ahead and take a look at the leaderboard. And this is going to show all the people that are playing inside of the environment. And as they get to the point where, they're earning points and closing activity or closing opportunities, then the point values will change and the leaderboards will change. And if I scroll down to the bottom, you're going to see basically the metrics that I use in order to build out this game. So I decided that, we're going to do 3 basic metrics. One is the number of calls, and you get 1 point for every 20 calls you make. For every new opportunity that gets created, you get 2 points for every 1 opportunity. And then for every revenue close, you're going to get 3 points for every $1,000 in revenue. So the idea is to weigh these metrics kind of back and forth, give the team the ability to go ahead and be successful. If you've got some people who are involved in the inside sales team and you get teams that are and outside sales, there's no reason why you can't combine them together to a bigger, stronger team and allow them to kind of work together. So you also have the ability to create awards and positions. So if there's an MVP, they can see kind of where they are and what type of gift reward that you're giving them. And then you also have positional awards. And in this one, we've done a football. So I've assigned my roster or my team to various positions out in the field. And we've got quarterbacks going against quarterbacks, and we've got fullbacks going against fullbacks. But this gives me a view of kind of where the whole team is. And then you've got, here's the different rewards that are available. And the team has the ability to, at any time, click on each one of those metrics to find out where they are in the process. Now, if I go back to the commissioner setting, really what you get to see on the in the office side or in the management side is really what's the statistics look like? How are we doing? What additional activity is this driving? So this will, once I decided that, the metrics are phone calls and meetings and presentations and revenue are really what's going to drive this particular game. So we can now look at this information. I can select a player and see, how that player is doing as it relates to these metrics. and then you can kind of click on each one of these overlinks and really see how the activity is coming in. So the goal here is if you have a highly competitive organization, you're going to see this ramp up, right? And you're going to have it ramp up pretty fast. Now the other great thing is that you can do is a lot of organizations or a lot of sales teams, have a sales floor, a sales area within their organization, and you can actually stream these contexts onto the TV. So you can create custom streams, you can create custom backgrounds, and the idea behind this is it allows you to, real quickly, show that leaderboard real time. So as people are making phone calls and activities are coming in, and they're interacting with that information, and it updates CRM, you can have that shown on a TV inside the sales room that allows the organization visibility into that, right? So, again, just a real quick kind of feature that allows the team to, really get excited about that sales contest. And it'll constantly scroll through and feature each employee, and it'll let you know what their ranking is as the points come into the system. And again, you have the ability to select the background that you're using in this environment. So let's go back to the PowerPoint presentation. And of course, it went all the way back to the bottom, so bear with me 1 second. So the next area that I'd like to talk about is the MS CRM add-on tool. And this is a tool that if you are using CRM online, I highly recommend that you take a look at this solution. In fact, I would encourage you to reach out to me after this call. So what the solution does is it takes any emails with attachments and separates the attachment from the email and puts it out on SharePoint. Right? So if you look at your CRM environment, and you look at the data and the storage that you have, if you're constantly taking documents with attachments and promoting them to CRM, it takes up a lot of space. And this tool is really designed to move those attachments to a SharePoint or to a shared location, and it allows you to save that critical space inside of CRM for the data that you can use to drive the business. So it keeps CRM kind of lean, allows you to take the attachments and put it into the solution, quite frankly, that it should be. Your file share or out on SharePoint, and it creates a link back to that file. So if I were to click on that email and I knew there was an attachment there, it's going to provide me with that link. So here's a quick slide of how that works. Either you get an email or you get a note, and you promote that to CRM. And every 100 seconds, this tool runs, and it literally searches all the attachments, and it creates that separation, and it moves it to the file share. So through the configuration and through the setup of this tool, it'll know exactly where this particular solution or this particular document needs to go, right? So we're going to shrink the CRM database, which is ultimately the idea. And then we're going to make it available for those users to interact with. It doesn't have to be just SharePoint. They also work with other file share tools. But the idea behind that is that, with every additional, gig of information that you're adding to your CRM environment, you're paying for it, right? And we're learning and we're seeing, just in working with our clients in the online environment, that the lion's share of that data usually resides frankly, in the attachments, whether it's in the notes attachments or in the email attachments. So again, the system is going to run in the background. It's going to strip out those attachments. It's going to extract it. It's going to put it to the appropriate location that you would want it to have it stored, and create that link back and forth, right? So this is just, again, a great tool. It saves space. It allows our customers the ability to really save some money on purchasing additional gigs of data per month with Microsoft. So another solution that we're going to touch on is marketing automation. And a lot of you know that Microsoft, out of the box inside of CRM has a marketing tool that's available. And the marketing tool for CRM out of the box allows you to, create campaigns, create marketing lists, create activities associated with those campaigns. But most of the time, our clients are learning or wishing for something a bit deeper. They're looking for that full marketing automation that's available. And this is a tool that's more mid-market, right? So it's not really designed to be enterprise, but it's allowed, it's more mid-market for those customers that might not have a full dedicated marketing team, but they know that they need to, to do something in order to expand their capabilities. So this solution allows you to take that additional step, right? So we know that the out-of-the-box isn't going to work, but we're not at the point where we need an enterprise marketing solution. But I know I need to automate. I know I need to create campaigns that are a bit richer. I need deeper levels of reporting, and I need to make sure that I'm integrated to, the email solutions that allow me for, that richer integration between the campaigns I create and the records inside of CRM. So Click Dimensions is the solution that we're going to look at lastly, and there's, again, like ADX Studios, there's an awful lot you can do with Click Dimensions. The first thing I'm going to mention is that, unlike some of the other marketing solutions that are out there, this solution is a module that sits and is installed inside of CRM. So you get full emailing capabilities, you get campaign automation, you have the ability to create web forms and event management. So you're starting to see some themes here where there's some crossover between what we saw in ADX Studios versus what we're seeing here on the marketing side, right? So for those clients that are looking for, maybe event management and I want to take lead forms, well, maybe you don't need to go into an ADX Studios for a solution. Maybe what you could get would be using some level of marketing automation. So again, there is some spillover. So let's just take a look at the email marketing. So here's just a quick example I pulled out of their solution that allows me to, really design my marketing messages in a drag and drop type of fashion, right? So I want to add text. I just drag it from the right-hand side into the area that I want to have it appear on, and I can start typing in there, right? So I can design my marketing message. I can create those links to CRM so I know what information that we're trying to pull from, and really design a really nice, slick marketing solution that's going to use their emailing feature to email those messages out to your clients. So we're not using the Exchange server. We're using the Click Dimensions marketing solution for email marketing and automation. I just want to show this because this is actually this is pretty powerful. This allows me to design things real quickly without having to purchase or use any of those third-party kind of design solutions. I'm just dragging and dropping what I want. I can add my social links. I can decide where I want my content to reside. I can decide what the additional follow-up items are, build out my email, build out my message, and execute it, right? So we're taking the heavy lifting out of it and the reliance on digital marketing providers and building that all right into CRM and allowing you to interact with that information. So from an automating perspective, now I've built that email. Now what do I do with it, right? So I've sent that promo email out, and there's two different options clients can pick. If they click on option A, I want them to go through a certain response. If they click option B, then I want them to go through another experience, right? So now I can start to build out my campaign. I can start creating triggers and series. Maybe the first email blast and they clicked on a certain option would result in a second email, right? So as I start launching these campaigns and working through my process, I can use these triggers and series to build out what my campaign automation is going to look like. And then obviously all of those results, all of those information and metrics are fed directly into CRM. The other area is web forms, and we talked a little bit about this on the ADX Studio side, but I want to just create a real quick landing page to have people contact us so I can get information into CRM. You can do that very simply with ADX Studios. With Click Dimensions. I can go ahead and create very quick web forms. Maybe my email result asks them to hit a landing page, so I use their tool to create this web form, this landing page, and then I can go ahead and associate it to what's going on inside of CRM. So again, the ability to expose additional layers of information easily out onto the web, so that way people are typing in their information and it's feeding lead sheets inside of CRM and attaching itself to the marketing campaign or the marketing email that originally came from. It's extremely powerful, right? We've got that full kind of link now where we can see where that lead's come from, what they've done in that marketing campaign, what option and what path they chose to get there. And obviously now you're bringing that all into CRM. And then, lastly, we've got the ability to really drive in richer analytics, right? I kid, but a lot of the clients that we work with, and helping them move from whatever system they're on to CRM, when we talk to the marketing directors, their most successful marketing campaign is always blank, right? So the lead source is blank, and blank is responsible for the highest amount of volume, the highest amount of activities, the highest amount of opportunity creation. So by using this kind of end-to-end tool where you're not asking the sales team to, attach a lead source to every opportunity, because as most of you know, a lot of salespeople are really, trying to get the deal closed and focused in on other things. They don't have time to go back and look at all of the different campaigns that we run and really try to remember where that individual came from. Now we're making it part of the process, right? We're attaching those sources to those campaigns, and now we have the ability to really dive into those analytics and understand, did this come from social media? Did this come from email? Did this come through direct traffic or search engine? How did we get to this information? And then now I can look at it and drill into those sources and understand, how many opportunities are created from this? How many leads did we get from this? Which campaigns have they reached out to? So this gives the organization a real deep understanding of their marketing efforts, as well as giving the marketing organizations the ability to fully automate the marketing process and build out those campaigns, build out those campaign responses, work with the sales team in order to drive those leads all the way over into the system. And again, the end result is the output, the analytics that the organization is going to have access to, the information that they're going to get exposed to as you're obviously moving this thing forward. So Marcia, I know I went through that real fast, and I told you it'd take about 40-45 minutes. I'd like to open it up to questions. The first thing, again, I wanted to reiterate is that I know we went through a lot of screenshots, and we did that in order to give everyone a real true flavor and understanding of what these solutions are that are out there that Microsoft has acquired, and a couple of the ones that we're working with closely recently. If anyone is interested in diving deeper into any one of those solutions or want to go through some level of a demonstration plugged into a sandbox environment, please feel free to reach out to us or reach out to Marcia after this call, and we can start the process of coordinating those for you. Again, these are real powerful solutions. Microsoft has made a significant investment in those products, and the integrations and what's offered is only going to really grow in the coming months and years. So expect more from ADX Studios, from Voice of the Customer, and from Fantasy Sales Team as the months, weeks, and kind of year progresses.
We'll give people. Thank you very much, Joel. That was it was very informative, and maybe just so much information that it's hard to internalize. But there are a few questions coming into the chat box. I'll give it another minute for people to enter their questions in the chat box, and then we'll start answering some of those questions, Joel.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So you kind of ended with Click Dimensions, which is very interesting. So does Click Dimensions integrate? Here's one question that came up. Does Click Dimensions integrate with GoToWebinar?
So there's a couple of different ways, and we've got some clients that have integrated to GoToWebinar. I'd have to check on really what Click Dimensions offers in that space. I would tell you that most of the marketing automation solutions that we work with have some level of integration on the GoToWebinar. I'm fairly certain Click Dimensions offers something, but Marcia, if you don't mind, I'll follow up, and then we can send that answer out to everyone directly.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, here's another question that just came in, Joel. You talked a lot about surveys, and so how do I decide which one I should get if that's something I'm interested in?
That's actually a great question, and I apologize because surveys are certainly involved in a lot of the different solutions we looked at. Microsoft has acquired Voice of the Customer, which is a standalone kind of fully integrated survey solution. And then you've got the ADX Studio environment, and then obviously we saw a little bit where I mentioned that there's some survey features available inside of Click Dimensions. what I can tell people is this, that if you're looking for, just creating a survey based off of an event that happens inside of CRM, maybe it's a closed case, maybe it's a closed opportunity, that you would want to go out to, a contact within your CRM system. Voice of the customer is going to do that, and it's a product that's part of the core CRM offering today. If you're looking to expand that with some additional layers of touch points, and then, for example, in that example would be if I'm working with an online kind of portal solution where I've just serviced that client through the portal and they've submitted their requests and they're familiar with using that portal, and they can go back and kind of drill into the statuses of the cases that they've submitted. I would want to make that survey available to them inside the portal, and I would recommend looking at ADX for that, if that's the type of environment that you're looking to get to. And then from another survey section, if you're looking to make surveying part of your marketing effort, and not only do I want to automate my marketing experience, but I also want to have the ability to send surveys out to prospects or surveys out to maybe existing customers, asking them what they think about certain products. The click dimension solution with the survey capability is certainly something that I would recommend. So I guess my point, Marcia, is it really is going to depend on what you're ultimately trying to achieve. But I think the real exciting answer is that regardless of what you're trying to achieve, Microsoft has answers for you, right? So you have the ability to kind of work with either one of the third-party providers that are out there, or work with some of the solutions that Microsoft has acquired today. But the end result is that Microsoft realized that this was a hole in their offering, and did what they could to acquire those solutions and those technologies to make them available for their customers.
Okay, awesome. Here's another question that just came in. I've heard a lot about PowerChart, and I saw it on one of your slides, but you didn't really go into any detail on PowerChart. Could you tell me a little more about what PowerChart will do for me in CRM?
Yeah, that's a great question. So PowerChart, and Marcia, probably take a mental note. We might want to, at some point in the future, do a dedicated session just on that. But what PowerChart is it's a full kind of enterprise-based, heavy call center support offering that Microsoft, again, recently acquired and is integrated into their core offering. So if I have thousands and thousands and thousands of knowledge-based articles that I'm putting out onto the web, and I want to give my customers the ability to interact with that, or I want to have the ability to offer support on my Facebook site or my Twitter site, or I want to have the ability to offer some additional layers of kind of social support to my customers. PowerChart is a great solution that does that. So it takes the service modules that exist inside of CRM today, and it enhances it greatly. So the PowerChart solution is an upstream service solution for CRM, and the functionality that it covers is very vast and great. So it would be a separate kind of discussion, but you will see that the portal solution that Microsoft is working with kind of extends some of that PowerChart knowledge base or that PowerChart information out to the customer base is through the ADX Studios. And I know that they're in the process of working on some upgrades in the coming months to their solutions in the next spring release. So we expect to hear some more about how those solutions are going to work together. But again, I think just the quick high-level discussion is that PowerChart is a bit more of an enterprise management solution for support and service. And again, it'll extend CRM much, much deeper.
Okay, thank you. Could you tell us a little more about the landing pages in Click Dimensions? Is there the ability to brand them?
Yeah, absolutely. You can add your look and feel to really any of those kind of web forms and landing pages. So you build them out inside of their tools, and it creates the necessary HTML code that you can expose out onto up to your website. You can add logos in there. It's very similar to what we saw on the email form, where I can add images, logos. I can click social media and see those social media buttons appear for people to click on. All of that is kind of part of their core offering. So the ability to brand any of the forms, any of the email templates or email marketing messages can be done inside of their solution. And it's just simply, like we looked at, just drag and drop. So I pick the fields on the right-hand side and kind of drag them over to where I want them to appear. The trick is just, going through and making sure it's properly set up and configured, and then I'm pulling, the details that I need to pull out because I want this form to literally flow into the lead module or into the contact module. So the trick is just making sure it's configured correctly, but once you understand it and you get some training, it's actually real easy to use. You don't need to work with a marketing consultant to build out these things. And you can make them part of your campaign. So every campaign you work on, you can create new landing pages. So it allows for some originality, and it allows for you to bring that information into CRM and to be consistent.
Okay. Another question that came in, Joel, is which of the tools that you showed us today are free or come with CRM without any additional cost? And which of the tools that you showed us today have an additional cost? And
that's a great question.
How can we find out about that?
Yep, absolutely. So I believe with the new pricing, if you're running professional, I believe you'll get you'll have access to fantasy sales. I believe voice of the customer is either have to have a one-user enterprise, or potentially it could be under the professional licenses. It just depends on the mix of users you have. So we'd have to look into that a little bit deeper. The only one we know that has a kind of per month upsell is the ADX Studio solution. So today, if you were to go out to adxstudios.com and take a look at their offerings and click on the buy button, it would tell you that it's $995 a month. But that's for unlimited portals. So I can create a customer portal, a partner portal. I can create communities. I can do the marketing portal. I can do the e-commerce portal. I can have multiple versions of that, and it's just the $995 a month, and it allows you to build all of those out. So we know that that's right now, as of today, and I use the word today because Microsoft is constantly changing things. But as of today, that's an additional purchase. The other solutions are kind of part of the core offering. We just need to get them turned on, and like I said, there might be a slight additional upcharge for voice of the customer, but I'm pretty certain fantasy sales team is part of the core offering.
Okay. Another question. When will the spring wave be released?
That's another good question. So we're anticipating sometime, I'm hoping next month. Microsoft has a new, I would say it's probably not really new, but they don't release, or they don't provide the partner channel, or even, quite frankly, their internal sales team with the exact date a solution is going to be released. So what'll end up happening is you'll probably just see them tweeting about it, or see just a real quick, kind of marketing message from the team saying that the spring update for 2016 is available. But we've heard spring. We know that there's some major events coming up in the April timeframe. Usually try to tie those together. So I would imagine sometime in late April, we'll probably see or get a better understanding of an ETA on the spring update. But I would imagine it's in the next several weeks we'll start seeing it.
Okay. Another question, Joel. If I'm interested in seeing the portal solutions in more depth, how would I go about that?
Perfect. So definitely please reach out to me and Marcia. I know that we're going to be following up with the slide deck. I can help coordinate, either if you wanted to take a look at it in standing up in a demo environment, we can do that, or we can actually work with ADX Studios and try to get some of it plugged into a test environment that you may have. So please reach out to me, and I can help coordinate that with the ADX Studios team, and we can decide, which portals you'd like to take a look at. and I can give you a quick overview on how they work and how they can get configured.
That's great, Joel. Could you put your contact information back up on the screen?
Yeah, absolutely. You do that.
All right, there it is.
Right.
jhatton@sikich.com. There was one question that's not related to the webinar, Joel, but since we have a few minutes left before we hit the top of the hour, maybe you would like to address it. The question was the difference between convergence, which apparently no longer exists, although our company used to attend regularly, and Envision. So if I'm a CIO, is Envision the right environment for me? The right event? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So, for those who've attended Convergence in the past, that was an event where I can go and get some learning on modules and spend some time learning about the ERP systems and learn about CRM and learn about how to use dialog boxes inside of CRM. So it was some great kind of end user training, but I would say it's more for the administrative type end user. And what Microsoft has done is it felt that the CRM user group and the user group community that is really growing, which is another phenomenal occurrence. They felt that those types of sessions really are better geared towards that environment where you've got companies that are using the solution that can show you how they're doing it in their current environment and allows you to network and to reach out to those people and build those kind of inter-office or inter-company relationships and build it around the technology that you're deploying today. So you can borrow each other's best practices or processes to improve things. So what ended up happening is Microsoft has moved Convergence, kind of put it out to pasture and is really leaning on the Dynamics community to continue to offer those types of events. And what they've decided this year is to create an event called Envision, and that is, to Marcia, for those CIO type individuals, Envision is where you want to be. It's going to allow you to interact with your peers, not only at some of the customers that are going, but also with Microsoft. So if you're the director of marketing for your organization or the marketing operations director, you have an opportunity to go out to Envision and sit down with the director of marketing for Dynamics or the director of marketing for Microsoft and learn how they're using these tools and solutions today to drive content, to drive leads, to really kind of fuel the business. You can talk to, there's different industry experts within Microsoft that are going to make themselves available for, roundtable discussions, one-on-one discussions, and really kind of help you understand how to leverage the most out of what you're using today to, your investment today to grow your business. So it's not going to be product specific. It's going to be more probably process specific. And if you're definitely at any C-level individual, I would recommend at least taking a look at Envision. We've got a bunch of clients that are going, and they're pretty excited to have that level of access because they weren't typically given that before.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Joel. We are nearing the top of the hour, so we'll let everyone get off the phone and have some lunch. Whether you're in Eastern time zone or Central time zone or wherever you may be. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us. We hope you got a lot of excellent information from Joel's presentation today, and we'll be sending you a follow-up email with his slide deck and a recording of this session. Thank you.